So let's now try to build maybe a daily content. So we'll start out with an objective. And again, whatever you want it to be, maybe it's today, students will learn how to use technology to work with functions. So maybe that's the basic of it. Standards, you can link those to standards online or inside your own personal document. So here I have like a standard, understand concepts of functions and function notation, but maybe they want to see this link. Notice that it is a hyperlink inside that. I've just copied it using Command C. I'm going to go back up here. I'm just going to paste that piece in here. Now sometimes that may be too much. Notice it still retained the hyperlink to go to where it is online, core standards. One thing I'll tell you real quickly, if by some crazy chance, and again, like here, I may want to highlight these, and I probably would have, is that your fonts may change when you import text. So a lot of copying and pasting changes things. So I want to make sure you see that, like here it went to 9. What if this was too big? Well, then we're going to do some hyperlinks, and that's what we're going to do here. For instance, here, I may want to do a bell ringer for that class, okay? So to do the bell ringer for that day, I'll just call it number 1. I would highlight it, and then I would need the URL to this bell ringer. Well, I found a great place to get some ACT bell ringers. I'm just going to jump here, choose maybe number 2 here. What's going to happen is it's going to open up and gives me the URL. I'm going to copy that URL using Command C again, jump back to my living lesson plan. Now I need to hyperlink it. Again, as it's highlighted, right click, do a link, and all I have to do is paste the URL in, click apply. Now that link is alive. Again, we're building a living document. We want to make sure these things work and change. Well, what happens if maybe I want my kids to do an activity and I've got it linked to my Google Drive, maybe a document inside it. So what I would need to do is I could either use the Explorer tool to find it, which is here. I find the document, I could use this URL here, or I could go inside my activities, and notice I put calculator activities. And here's the document I want those students to see, or me to see, or my administration. I need to get a shareable link. Once that shareable link comes into play, I do Command C copy. I go back to my living document, and maybe here is maybe activity 1. And basically it's maybe intro to TI Inspire. Highlight it, right click again, do a link, paste, apply. Now we have that document. So now we have 2 documents. One bell ringer goes to something on the web. The other the activity goes to the document, which is a PDF in my Google Drive. One of the things that we also might want to add here is that we could add a couple of things. One, it could be maybe a link to our online place where we can actually either assign homework, or it could be an exit slip or something like that. So what I want to do is I want to put in an exit slip. Again, this could be anything. It could be a Google Doc, it could be anything, or it could be a Google form. Notice that I do have a form here. Basically, it's just a simple exit slip that I've used. Your name, one thing you learned today, and then tell us about your thing. And then I could get a URL here. I could copy it. Of course, there's multiple ways to do this. I could go here, right click, get my link, paste it, click OK. We're good there. The cool thing about this is that if I've done it this way, and I want to go back to that exit slip and I want to add something additionally to that, I could go ahead and add another question. I don't have to go back and redesign the piece again. It's already there. And that's what makes this really cool. Okay, and then the last thing, and I'll just do one more quick thing here, is like maybe I want them to go to Khan's Academy, and I want you to do maybe something for me. So for instance, maybe homework is actually going to be used, or do the online quiz at Khan's Academy. Okay, and we can put more detail here. I'll highlight it, of course. And then what I want to do is I'm just going to jump over here. There's my quiz. I'm just going to have them go to the functions, copy the URL again, go back to the template, right click, link it up, paste it, apply, and that's done. What's really unique about this whole little process is that we're building a living document. And for instance, if I had an issue after day one, maybe the activity, the bell ringer was wrong, or maybe activity one took too long. I can actually come down here and say, hey, activity number one took maybe 50 minutes, which was way too much time. And so that will give me a little bit of information about that. So again, this is a real good tool. Is it the best? No, but it is one that is a living document that will help us to become better, makes us more engaging with our kids. Instead of me having to next year start the whole process over, I've actually got this laid out. I can go ahead and look at it and say, hey, this is really good. It's very helpful. Or maybe I need to redo this, reevaluate it. So that's this part. So as you notice, we built this easy piece. When your supervisor comes in, they can click, go to that. They can click on all your links. And they can see what you're doing, which helps a lot. And you can add more things to this, but maybe this is just what you want, some basic outline of what you're doing. Okay, so that ends this part, and then the last thing is I'll show you how you can actually make it next year.